on this new series that I'm loving so far on this Becoming series. And y'all, we are getting down to the most gritty for Becoming series. This is host, DaniellejMartin of Behind the Spotlight podcast. Now, over the next couple of weeks, I'm inviting you to tune into a couple of conversations that I'll be having with some of my close friends who are also true believers and community influencers.
I will ask him for something, he will give it to me, but it's not how I thought it would look.
Just because you think that you deserve something does not mean that you deserve it in that season.
The skills that you have that nobody else has, your perspective, the lens that you have, those things are your best thing.
People always say, like, when you know better, you do better. But why is it that when you know better, you still don't do better? Are you really becoming wiser? Now, on this new series called Becoming, we're going to be diving into a variety of topics that's going to empower you and inspire you to become the better version of yourself.
That's what it is, because you're stepping into the unknown. You're stepping into unfamiliar territory. So when you're growing and when you're evolving and when you're changing, you're going to be faced with things that you've never been faced with.
What God is calling you to do doesn't make sense. It makes miracles.
That you are the head and not the tail, above and not beneath.
Now, if you find that this conversation is serving you, then I encourage you to share it with someone else. And of course, don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms. Now, open up your minds and be ready to be transformed. Hey guys, we're back with another episode here on Behind the Spotlight podcast. It's your host, DaniellejMartin. Today, we are diving just a little bit deeper on trying to figure out what makes you you, how to become the better version of yourself by figuring out how are you developed. So we're going to dive into how you, basically your different habits, okay? Becoming habitual. What makes your habits good? What makes your habits great? We're going to identify all of that. So today I'm bringing on my girl. I'm super excited to have her here, but let me introduce you to LaMyiah Pearlinia. She is from St. Paul, Minnesota. Now, after graduating high school, LaMyiah went south to attend Prairie View A&M, the best HBCU university, okay, in Houston,
That's
Texas.
Right.
And, now, being the first in her family to attend at HBCU, LaMyiah graduated from PVA from Prairie View in 2019, and she is now the host and producer of a lifestyle show in Springfield, Illinois. And also, she just got a new promotion. I'm going to let her tell you about that. But the ultimate goal for her is to be authentic at all times, unapologetic, and to walk with Christ first. But first, honey, welcome to the show.
Thank you, honey. I'm excited. I'm elated. I'm just overwhelmingly happy to be here.
Look, honey,
Period.
look, I love that you're here. You know what I'm saying? But we are going to definitely dive into our friendship, but let the world know just a little bit more about LaMyiah Pearlinia, because honey, it's a bunch of extraness that I love. Okay.
Yeah.
She's a lot that I love. So let me just tell you about her. Okay. LaMyiah and I will say, came from different backgrounds, and then we united during an internship in Houston.
Yeah.
And so that was a beautiful thing. But before we even go there, definitely tell the people about who is LaMyiah.
Okay, so LaMyiah, I got three different people inside of me. Like I got alter egos, honey. LaMyiah is very sweet, very kind, very ambitious, very nurturing. LaMyiah is who you see on TV. LaMyiah is the lifestyle host, the producer, and promoted to part-time marketing consultant. LaMyiah gets the money. Okay.
Oh, come on.
And then it's Maya. Maya is the big, the extravagant, the glam, the glitz, the I don't care, the pop off queen, the I'm gonna love. No, that's not Maya. Hold on. That's not her. She gonna pop off. But then there's Pearlinia. Pearlinia is my middle name. I also go by Pearl, and Pearl is definitely. Wait, did it stop? Did it go?
No.
Am I still going? Okay.
You're good.
Pearl is nurturing. Pearl is caring. Pearl is like the mama of all of the alter egos. She keeps everybody in line. She keeps them together. And all three of those are basically what makes up me. You know, I'm very extra. I'm very extravagant. I'm very nurturing. I'm very caring. But I'm very ambitious and I'm motivated. And that has been the ultimate realization of myself lately. Is like, I am so ambitious and I'm so driven to get everything that I said I want.
Right.
And so that's me, girl.
And I love
Just
it.
in a nutshell.
Oh my gosh. Like, you guys understand that LaMyiah has this sparkle and this brightness to her, like literally just like lights the room every single time that she comes in. And I just love it. She has inspired me. She's not only my friend, but I consider her like a mentor and someone that I look up to. But yeah, so going back to like basically our friendship and how we are today, I would just consider us like basically a sisterhood who's out here grinding, trying to make it, you know what I mean? And trying to create the best lifestyle that we want. Right.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
So we met, in Houston, interning at Iconic Television. Shout out to Iconic, you know, Jalea Davis out there in Houston, Texas. But we met there, right? And was it in a
we met? I'm pretty sure we met earlier, but our first time working together was the Go DJ Awards in 2019.
Yeah.
Was it maybe 20? No. Yep, 2019. 2019, maybe the end of 2018.
Right.
But maybe like December 2018, January 2019, around that time was the first time we worked together. And that was the first time I was actually introduced to you and like working with you by myself. And I think then, because that's a whole nother story, but that moment, that day we failed so bad, that really did cultivate our friendship, because we started seeing each other more and more and more. And I honestly, Danielle, I don't remember after that. Like, it's just been like history after that.
It has. And I love that, because it's crazy now that I think about it. I'm really having an epiphany right now that we did fail together. We hosted an event together. It didn't go the way that we wanted. And in that moment, we literally like came together and became just best friends. And like you said, it's been history ever since. And like, we were just kind of like, again, just going at it together, like trying to figure out how do we get into the news industry. And then once we're here and we're like, okay, what's the next step? Like, how are we still going to grind this out? And just been supporting each other ever since. Like, even though we've been in like 2 different locations, it was
we literally left a week apart from Houston.
Yes, we left a week apart. I was about to say, like, you got your job and then I got my job, and then we were like celebrating our work anniversary around the same time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And now LaMyiah's out here just serving. Okay. Look, if you're in Springfield, Illinois, okay, look at my girl's show. And when do you air it?
So we are Monday through Friday on News Channel 20, 11:30 to 12. If you can't catch that on newschannel20.com, you can definitely go to my Facebook page, LaMyiah Pearlinia, where I post a lot of my clips and stuff, or just go to the website and I literally post everything from the show onto the website. And then just catch me on Instagram. I'm trying to get on TikTok. I'm trying to do this TikTok thing. But just catch me on Instagram too. Yeah, I'm about to start doing more videos on Instagram and definitely on TikTok. But News Channel 20 or on Facebook, LaMyiah Pearlinia is where you can find my stuff. Yeah.
I'm super excited for her, you guys. Just like literally everything. And this is just the beginning, honey. Like, I don't even really, it's the beginning of the beginning, right? Because just setting the footstone of where we're trying to go. And like, just specifically for LaMyiah, it's like setting the tone for her family, generations after her. It's a big deal. And I'm super, super excited for where you are. I love where you are and who you are, which is why you're on this show, honey. Okay. Because we're about to get down and dirty and just to the nitty gritty is what I like to say. But basically we are going to just dissect what makes LaMyiah like who she is. And I always say that like your story can generate and cultivate with other people and definitely connect. And I always like to say that you can learn so much from someone else's story, because just even before we got on this call, we're like, dang, we have something similar. I didn't even know that about you. And like, we learn each other every single day as our friendship grows, and it's beautiful. And I think when you find that you are not alone, it makes life just a little bit easier, or whatever you're going through, it makes it easier. So
Mhm.
diving into habits, right? So we were like on this journey of dissecting who we were. And I think there was a season 2 where we were like, what is it about my surroundings that I need to change? And I was even,
Ooh,
I was like, your habits. And I think I was mentioning to you too, Atomic Habit, the book I was reading at the time, which is phenomenal. If you haven't read it, I definitely recommend, and I'll put it in the description below. But Atomic Habits, it really helps me identify like, dang, like my surroundings. If I want to change anything, you need to change your habits. So for LaMyiah, like for you, what did you realize was a toxic habit that you had to like really get rid of in order to become who you are today?
Still realizing it. Still realizing my toxic habits, still having these revelations thanks to my friends like you. But a couple toxic habits that I'm starting to realize is, for one, trying to compare myself to other people, comparing my success, comparing where I'm at in my journey, comparing my presentation, my attitude, my behavior, comparing my authenticity to everyone else, just comparing me and saying, okay, well, I'm not like that. So am I the issue, or I'm not like that? Am I not doing something correctly? I'm not there in my life yet like that person is, or like my friend is. Why am I not there? That is number one toxic habit that I have been realizing about myself, that I have to kind of catch myself and like confine in people and say, hey, I'm tripping. Let me just, help me get back to my path.
Wow.
Also like allowing me, another toxic trait or habit, allowing my pure, genuine intent to be taken advantage of in such a way that like, there's bad people in your life and you just see the good in them. You see their potential, you see everything that they can be and how y'all can like connect and work together. Sometimes like broken people just have to be let go. And like for someone like me, I just want to keep working on you and fixing you and working on you and fixing you. But sometimes, good people start to become broken when they're trying to fix broken people. And so that's another one. And then also social media. Child, we go to social media so much.
Come on,
about
too
every
much.
single thing. We go to social media for advice. We go to social media for self-care tips. We go to social media for zodiacs and all that. and instead of going to social media, we don't go to God. And so
that part.
Going to social media before I go to my Lord and Savior, my God, to figure out what my next steps are. Those are 3 toxic habits that I have realized or am realizing in my day-to-day life routine.
I just commend you for being so real and authentic on the first toxic habit, right? Which many people can relate to, but they are not aware or confident or admitting that like your first toxic habit is comparison. You know what I mean? Like learning how to compare yourself, and like comparing yourself is not something that is healthy for you, because you start to put on blinders and you can't see yourself anymore. And if you can't see yourself and you expect other people to see you rather, it's like, then that's why you can't see yourself. That's why you're not confident. That's why you're not whole. You know what I mean? And so I think I really commend you for being bold and vulnerable in this moment, for admitting that. And then you talk about seeing good in people, right? And then when they don't see good in themselves. So that could be like a really good toxic and good habit, because it's like the good habit is that you see it, but then the toxic habit is like, well, I'm holding on for like, I'm waiting for them to change. I see so good, but then you're hurting yourself in the end. That's not good.
How can I help them? How can I pour into their broken cup? A broken cup cannot fill you back up. A broken cup cannot reciprocate, because they're literally broken. They literally are broken. They cannot hold everything you're giving to them. It slips through each and every crack. And so many people, when they see a person, they care about someone, they care about something, because it doesn't even have to be a person. It could be an environment.
Yes.
You want it to be able to reciprocate back into you. You want it to be able to hold everything that you're giving it, but it just has so many cracks that you just can't fix sometimes.
Dang.
So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, she went there. I mean, and then last but not least, but you said social media, honey. Yes. Social media is a very toxic habit. If you haven't realized that, like, you know, you need to manage your time, and how you manage your time is so important. I don't think people realize the amount of time that you are on social media. You could be pouring into your business. You could be pouring into your purpose. You could be pouring into yourself. Like, really consider the amount of time you are on social media and do something else.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I agree.
I'm just saying.
I agree.
But now that you have recognized all three toxic habits, I think it's even important to identify, like you said, you're still working on them and how to break them. So right now, how are you in the process of breaking those toxic habits to become better?
I fast from social media often. I haven't since January or December. I haven't fasted since December, but I feel like it's coming where I need to kind of refresh and cleanse myself from social media. So that's another thing. I just kind of fast. I fast for different certain things to just get my mind back into the place that God needs it to be, or just to hear God more clearly about things that I have a habit of doing that's not of His will. So just fasting for sure. Realize comparing myself. You got to have, and this is something that I am in a journey of too, having a community full of like-minded people and friends who have your back. You know what I mean? Comparing yourself and coming to somebody and saying, I'm tripping, I need you to just help me kind of gear myself towards myself again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So having that community is so important.
Yes.
And with our jobs, like Danielle, you've been in Topeka almost 3 years now. When we first started our job, we were the only ones that came from Texas or whatever. Yep. We came to a whole different city, a whole different state where it was just us. Yeah. In a small town where you don't have a lot of distractions to distract you from your bad habits. And not having a community can be very difficult when you're by yourself and when you don't have anybody to lean on because you don't know anyone yet and you're not comfortable. I ain't never had to meet new friends until I got a new job because everybody, my friend was at my school or, where I was interning at. But coming to a new place and building a community was very hard for me, but it was necessary. I'm still trying to do it here in Illinois because you need those friends who see you, who can tell you are beautiful, you are brilliant, you are brave, you are bold, you are enough, and you don't need to be like Susan, Dick, and Dan. Those people are who they are. So just seeping out the friends that I need for that particular moment in my life has helped me. And then just praying through everything, allowing God to show me who I am when I don't have those habits anymore. Allowing God to show me what I can have when I let those habits go. Because bad habits are not of God. Right. And so if they are a part of me, I don't want it to be a part of me because this ain't a part of what God wants for me. So I need to let it go and let God show me, like, this is who you can be if you just let these things go and allow me to take care of you and to take hold of that steering wheel. Let it go. Woo! I'm sticking to myself, girl. I'm sticking to me. Woo!
I love it.
My dog is sitting here staring at me. I know that's right. I know you heard that.
I love it. Honestly, LaMyiah, I was about to say you are preaching to the choir. Yes, and honestly, you like hit the nail on it. And I think one of the things that I really love that you said was community. And I don't think people understand or really know why it's so important to get involved and volunteer. Of course, it's the good thing to do. Of course, out of your heart, definitely volunteer because it can make you feel better. But I really think when you pour yourself into a community, like you said, they help you, they support you, they put your arms around you, and then you start to recognize like who you really are. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but I really think that when you dive and like you give yourself to a community, and just speaking on behalf of myself, I never understood that after my relationship, the first thing that God said was get involved in the community. What are you talking about? Like, I don't want to be around people, you know, like I was just so rebellious to what he was trying to tell me. And he just kept saying it over and over, get involved, until this day, a year later, getting involved and having this whole boot camp that I do. And my mind has elevated because the people around me have motivated me, have supported me, have really just poured into me and challenged me to be better. So when you talk about that, like, in order to break the habits, really be around like-minded people, that is so important. You have to really like understand who is pouring into you. Is it toxic people? Is it people that you really don't agree with, but you're around them because you guys have been friends since what, high school? Okay, well, honey, you are grown. You can make new decisions right now. Okay. So are you stuck with someone because you are comfortable? It's convenient. Do not stay in a relationship because it's convenient. I promise you that will not win. But I love the idea and why you just kind of like went into the significance of being involved in a community. Love it. You're preaching to yourself, honey. You're preaching to me. Okay.
Yes. As we should, so honey.
Okay. So as we become better, right? I will say we're not going to get on here and say it's so easy to break a habit. Like, you know, once you identify it, you're going to break it tomorrow. It takes like baby steps, but like for you, what is the everyday daily habit that you were trying to break? Whether it's with, you know, comparison, whether it's, you know, trying to not hold on to good people because that's taking energy away from you. And then social media. I mean, you talked about fasting. You talked about like, you know, I'm getting involved in the community, but even like go even deeper, like the daily steps that you're doing for yourself.
Definitely comparing myself to other people and other situations that people are in, and saying that's not me. My journey is my journey. Like I have a friend who, you know, she's doing really, really well. She's in New York doing her thing. And I was like, well, I can't be in New York. I want to go to New York. But I had to take a step back and realize, like, okay, LaMyiah, God sent you to Springfield, Illinois. God gave you a show. God let you produce your show. You've designed a new logo, new graphics for your show. They promoted you to make commission off your show. Like, you are in a good spot. Just because you're not in New York yet, or in Atlanta or Cali or wherever, Houston yet, you are in a good space. There's stuff for me to understand and to learn in this particular moment, because the next steps are going to be way different again for my friend. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be identical. There's things that God has, he has a calling for me, a specific calling, a unique, a like one-of-one calling for me, that I have to be in a specific place with specific people in a specific environment, because your calling may be higher. So it's just like, you need to be able to understand yourself and understand where God's taking you, and understand that comparing yourself to Dick, Dan, and Jane, it won't work, because their callings aren't your calling. Everybody has a place in God's will, and I need to trust in God. So when it happens, I'm like, oh, I haven't reached 1 million Instagram followers, which is okay, because I know y'all coming after this. But I ain't reached that yet. And God's like, ma'am, you got a couple of things you need to learn before I get you there, because how you even act when you get there is going to be different from Dick, Jane, and John. How you present yourself, if you go right now, it's going to be different. You may hurt yourself. So I need you to go through some things first. I need you to learn some things first. I need you to grow a little bit more first until you get to where you need to be. So everything, it happens for a reason. When I tell you, I am not the same person 2 years ago, crying, ready to go back to Houston and waitress, other than reporting on TV. Like, I'm not there anymore. And it really took me to be in my darkness for a while to understand the woman that was going to be in Springfield, Illinois with 3 different positions and doing the damn thing. And so I had to learn, comparing yourself, it does you no justice, because you don't even know the person you're going to be in tomorrow, the next week, the next month, let alone the next 2 years. So That's me digging deeper, child. That's me digging deeper.
How you want me to even follow up with that? Like,
that's just,
okay.
I'm just saying, it's so much to it, man. And I can go all day, but it's a lot
but honestly, LaMyiah, you are hitting the nail and you are breaking chains. And that's what I want to do here. Like, I literally called you to break chains off the people who are trying to compare themselves to everyone else. Honey, stop doing it. And so a couple of things, because I had to start writing notes, y'all. She was just going crazy. But I love how you talked about that for you. Like, I think a lot of people do this, right? We always compare what we have versus what someone else has. But it's like, do you realize that what you have is actually what you prayed for last season? You know what I mean? And so I really have to do that
year
too.
In college, Jay Malone came in my class. He was a producer for ABC 13 in Houston. Yeah. He said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, I'm going to have my own show. My junior year in college, I said that. And I have my own show.
Wow. So what you comparing yourself for?
Yep.
What you comparing yourself for? I'm here to tell you, honey, what are you comparing yourself for? What you have right now in this season is what you were asking for, right? But I think it's just a human nature thing that we just naturally do because we are surrounded by so many things. I don't think you guys realize that naturally as humans, we're always most attracted to what we don't have for whatever reason. It's like, I want that. I want this. I want this. But it's like, you prayed for this. So have this and enjoy it. And so what I love is that, you know, you reminded yourself, you said, you know what, LaMyiah, you have a show. Let's talk about all the good things that you have. And so like, I really encourage you guys to talk about what you have and talk yourself up. Like, when was the last time that you hyped yourself up and you say, you know what, honey, you are beautiful today. You are gorgeous. You're going to grind it out. You're going to touch millions of lives today. You're going to be so impactful because the word and the promise that God has given you is for you. You said that your calling is unique, so it's unique. So serve in that. Be gracious, like literally, like walk confidently in the calling that God has for you, because it is for you and only you, honey. So you better stunt.
Yes.
So I love that you said too, that I think too, that when you try to put yourself in someone else's shoes, you can't even walk in them. Okay. So that's like you trying to wear, that's like me trying to wear your size shoe. And I won't say my size shoe, but like, cause I got big feet, y'all. Okay. But that's like me trying to, I had to catch myself. I said, wait,
really little feet. I wear a size 3 in kids.
Okay. So I got huge feet. So I was like, I won't even say it, but that's like you trying to walk in a size shoe that's really like 5 sizes down. You know what I mean? So it's just like, stop trying to walk in other people's shoes because it looks glamorous on social media. Because I promise you, honey, everything that you see on social media is not what it is. People only put the highlights on there. But what I also love that you said, I had to, this word has been coming up. So I know it's for me, but you talked about that, you know, when you get to a certain calling, you have to really be built up there because you have to work on certain things, right? And so right now, God has been throwing in front of my face that, and it's crazy because Pastor Keon just talked about this. Can God trust you with trouble? Right?
Ooh, I saw that sermon.
Honey, I'm like, so when you talked about like you have a lot of developing in you, you don't understand that certain things aren't coming to you because you have to develop a clean heart. You have to develop a gracious heart. You know what I mean? And you have to develop a space where if something were to happen to you, if you were to be, you know, talked about on social media, which happened the other day. Okay. And learning not to respond, honey, that is hard. Okay. When everything in me is like, I just want to go at it. But God said, I didn't call you to do that. I didn't call you to respond in that manner. Yeah. And if you can respond to this, if I take you to that level, what else are you going to respond to? You know what I mean?
And that next level you responding could really hurt you. So God is like, I love you enough. I love you more than you can see. Right. Because I won't let you get to that part of you because you're going to be calling me. And it's like, I need you to understand you need to be ready for what this has. I'm not going to put you in a position where it's going to break you entirely. You're not ready for what you got coming. So I need you to get ready. That's a word.
I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my favorite episode.
Like, jealous, girl.
Every episode is my favorite, but this right here, honey, this right here. No, but seriously, like, and I'm gonna be real transparent because that's the whole point of this, you know. I said to Michael the other day, I said, you know, seeing that God is having me in this testing season of like, can I trust you when things don't go in your favor? Can I trust you when you are getting all this backlash? I said, God is really going to have to work on my heart when these people circle back around and want something from me, and I have the power to give it to them. That is when you're really going to be tested, is can God really trust you when these people who did you wrong come back around and want something from you, and you have
can
all
I trust
power.
you to still show me within you? Can I trust you to still bear your fruit? Or are you gonna act like you saved and still ratchet and God's still working on you?
I say, yeah, sure. God, we gonna work on that. You know what I'm saying? Because right now in this season, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I that's just honest. Like, I think if I had the power to give someone something who did me wrong right now, I don't know. But that doesn't mean that in a couple of months or next week that I'll have the heart to be like, okay, I can still serve you even when they don't deserve it. Yeah. And that's just real. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that just goes with, you know, you talked about prayer and trying to break some habits, right? And I think it's very important, you guys, that you literally identify what is keeping you where you are and how can I break them. So going into the next question, LaMyiah, like you talked about, you know, how you're breaking habits and, you know, you've identified them, what's making you better, what's making you weak, but then also too, talk about like, what habit have you recognized like over time? It's probably like that small, tiny, harmless, you know, you could be watching Netflix coming home every day, but you don't realize that over time, that habit is really not like getting you to where you're supposed to be. And that could be, you know, watching Netflix. That could be playing the game for a little bit. That could be on your phone for this amount of time, but God has called you to, you know, read the Bible. He has called you to write more. He has called you to fast this week, you know, whatever it is. I think sometimes we look at things very harmlessly, like it's just for a little bit. I'm just going to have a glass of wine. Okay. Yeah. Your girl is almost at 90 days with no drinking. And I love that.
Yes. I love that for you.
I love that. So over time, my tiny habit was drinking a glass of wine that turned into a bottle of wine, you know, and that's just transparent. But what is that tiny habit for you?
Girl, it's crazy because I was just thinking like, I'm about to have a glass of wine after this. I did. Transparently, like, and I think
that's fine.
God just said that made you say that to me because maybe I need to go without wine for a little bit, because while you're speaking to me, I'm like, God, like, how can I break my habits? Like, how can I be a better person? How can I stop? How can I get to my highest self? Like, how can I get to my highest self for the next level? Like, I'm really asking these questions while you're speaking. Yeah. And I'm thinking I'm about to have a glass of wine of this, just chill out. And you literally just said like, I stopped drinking for 90 days. You know what I mean? And I just thought that was a revelation for me. Like God probably needs to like really fast and really intentionally do that. But a small thing that I do is procrastinate. I will make a list. Good. I make a to-do list for work. I've been doing it for the last week or so, writing out a to-do list, crossing everything out, but maybe 2 things. I'll do it tomorrow. That's or I gotta go to the gym. I'll do it tomorrow. Or I need to start eating healthy and stop eating McDonald's and Burger King. I'll do it tomorrow. It's fine.
I'll do it next week.
I'll do it next week. You're good. We're good. You're good. You're still good.
We got time.
Something pounds. You're fine.
We got time.
Tomorrow. It's cool. You didn't clear your mind. It's 3:30. It's time to go to home. Like you don't need to cross out all this stuff. And I don't know if that's procrastination, but it's just putting it off. And
that's real.
I put off a lot of stuff though. I put off a lot of stuff. Even when I find fault in my actions or my behaviors.
It becomes a part of you.
Yeah, I put it off. It's okay. I work on that next time. It's okay. You know, or like for work, like what did I do today? I put off 3 things today. I'll leave my planner here. I'll leave my book here because I don't want to take work home with me. But these things can get done tomorrow. That can be a habit, and it can really lead to a lot of turmoil. And it can lead to, first of all, it's having your car on E. Zuri Hall had a podcast about self-care, and I was listening to it, and she said she went to a retreat, and she said, and the lady was saying that she stopped leaving her car on E and putting off going to the gas station because the next day she's on her way to work and she's worried about, is she gonna break down from not having gas? Why would you put that self-harm on you, on your mind?
That's real.
Stress, intentionally doing it.
That's so real. And I think subconsciously, right? Like we do it because it's like, oh, I got time. And when I'm realizing, you guys, what I'm really realizing is time does not work on your time. Okay. I think for some reason it's like, oh, I got time. Like you said, I'm going to put it off tomorrow. You know, I got time. I got time. I promise you, you're going to look up one day and be like, dang, I got no time. You know what I mean? And I don't know about you, but like this whole time change that just happened, I think if anything, it has made me realize how much time I don't have, because it's like us, you know, losing 1 hour of sleep. It's like, oh, okay, it's just 1 hour. We're going to get it back soon. Okay. Yeah. But eventually like that time is catching up to you. You know what I mean? And it's like, I felt like I was chasing time. It was like, I got to catch up. I was so tired all the time, but then it became a mindset. You know, I was like, oh, it's just the time change. It's the time change. I was blaming it on that, but really time was just moving and I was trying to like race after it.
Yeah.
So girl, I love the whole, you know, car on E thing, because for me, I don't know why, but I think it's like a wake up call. I think anytime my car is on E, I really feel like it's a wake up call of what my life, like of how my life is going on at that time. Like, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah. Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Yes, you're on E. Your car, it's like how they say, your room or your house.
Yes.
It reflects your brain, your mental process. If your house is a mess, then your life is a mess, which is true. I will not go to sleep with my house a mess. Like I have to put things together because I don't want to wake up and see all of that.
Right.
So your car is kind of the same way. Like
exactly
how you treat your car, especially for us women, how we treat our cars, how we treat ourselves. And
honey,
like,
how you treat your bathroom.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but honey, you are female. Clean your bathroom, please.
Clean your bathroom.
Jeez.
Clean your bathroom. We got all that hair, makeup everywhere. Clean your bathroom. Take a couple of times to take care of you and yourself and get things done. Stop putting things away or putting them off. Because I feel that I find that when I accomplish these things, I feel so much better because it's off my to-do list. I ain't worried about this anymore in the back of my head.
No.
My car is filled up after 3 days on E and praying. Thank you, Jesus. But in my
right now,
girl, my car was on E for 3 days. Maybe when gas was $5. That was my excuse.
Okay.
I was praying to get to work. Jesus, please make it way.
Please.
But I won't have it on E anymore. Like I won't do it. After I heard that Zuri Hall podcast, it made so much sense because now you waking up with worry. You're waking up with stress. Why do that? Why would you make that a habit to continue to put yourself at dis-ease? Like, don't do that.
Wow. Yes. And I love that you talk about this is real good, honey. I love this. You talked about procrastination and that's speaking to me. Okay. Because I definitely feel that way as well. Sometimes like, I feel like I just got so much on my plate, and what I'm working on is writing it down because I think for some reason I can just remember everything. Like I'm going to remember it. It's mentally in my brain. So that's me writing it down, but I don't physically write it down. So I'm trusting myself out of my will that I will remember it. And it's like, okay, honey,
Yeah.
You know, you got a lot going on, just write it down. And then we get to that point and we knock it off and it feels great. So
yes.
I love that you talked about that, because I think in a way, like many people just kind of do the, I think if you start saying like, okay, you know, I'm gonna put it off until next week. I'm gonna put it off until Sunday. I'm gonna start my meal prep on Sunday. First of all, I think we need to break the habit of feeling like we have to do it the traditional way, the American way of I will start on Monday or Sunday. Start tomorrow. How about that?
Yeah.
You start tomorrow.
Cause why not? Why not? Who are you trying to impress?
Who are you
talking about?
Who are you
Monday,
doing it for?
A full 3 months. Like, who are you trying to impress? Who are you doing it for? A couple days before it won't hurt you. 28 days is not gonna hurt 25 days. Like, you have to. The biggest challenge is starting.
Yes.
And that's when you got to start with your prayer. God, help me take this taste out of my mouth. Help me start this. Help me have the discipline. Help me have the discernment. Help me have the drive. Help me have the motivation to do this. It starts with prayer, and then it starts with actually starting. Make that a habit.
Make that a habit. Just start. And then when you start, I encourage you to have a plan. You know, like we were just watching King Richard, the movie with Will Smith. That movie was so good. So I definitely encourage you to watch it. So good. I know the controversy of what's going on with him. Besides that, the movie's good. Okay. But I love that he had, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Thank you. So if you are failing to plan, you are planning to fail. So definitely understand that, like, when you are not putting any plan to anything that you're doing, you're not going to take any action on it. You know what I mean? And you can't expect your old self to take the action when you're trying to already break the habit of starting the action.
Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. That's going to fire a lot of people's heads. But hopefully the right ones get it.
Yes, definitely.
Because, yeah.
You know what's crazy? Oh, go ahead.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's crazy because we are at 55 minutes and I felt like we've been talking for like 30.
Yeah, me too.
Dang. Time flies when you're having fun. Good conversation. Okay.
I'm unusual though. We be really getting deep, girl.
Honey, all the time. No, but seriously, like I love everything that you said, and I really hope that you guys take away something. And if there's anything on your heart, LaMyiah, I want to take this time and just give it to you and just pour into the people who are listening and watching right now. If they could leave with anything that you have said, that you have learned yesterday, this morning, whatever it is, what are your last words?
Your future does not depend on you. I mean, your future does depend on you more than your past does. Your past is gone. Yesterday is done. It's finished. You did what you did. You heard what you heard. You said what you said. The future depends on you. You cannot go into tomorrow and fix it. God does not give us that ability. And so all you can do is move forward, move on, learn more, teach more, and have an open heart and a humble heart and an open mind for new opportunities and new motivations and new experiences. Pray to forgive yourself. Understand that your mistakes don't define you. It's the lessons that were meant to be apparent to you is why you made those mistakes. And then just love yourself, love others, and love strangers. And this dude then got my Ugg boot. I'm sorry, this dog then took my boot. Can you hear me?
Okay, sorry. I was on mute for a second, but I said, really, Ace?
Girl.
Really?
So annoying. But that's it. Love, forgive, understand that the future depends on you, and go for it, man. You are enough. You are beautiful. You are bold. And don't let anybody take that from you. Your ambition is unique. Period. Point blank. And that's free.
And that's free. Oh my gosh.
That's for free, boo.
That's for free. Wow, LaMyiah, you definitely hit the nail on every single thing that you said. And I really hope you guys, I really hope that this resonates with your heart, because I'm telling you, there's so much power into what LaMyiah was saying about the habits that she created for herself and learning to break them and to break free from everything. Just understanding too, that like you have the power to break free from everything that is holding you back. I hope you understand that too.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Because like, I think sometimes we lose sight on realizing that everything that we want to change is really within us. Like we have the power to do that. So you have the power to break the habit. You have the power to stop drinking. You have the power to stop smoking. You have the power to stop being in a toxic relationship. You have the power to choose what your future holds for yourself. And that is for you. And understand that like you can do it, honey, and surround yourself with people. And if you don't know where to start, I just say like start with someone you trust, right?
Yeah.
Like just find someone that you really trust, because I truly believe that you can't do it alone. Like this whole thing that we call life, like you cannot do it alone at all.
I
So,
agree.
I love everything that you, girl, we're gonna have to probably do part 2 on this episode.
Yes.
Not gonna
definitely.
lie. And maybe even like a different angle, because I love everything that you said in regards to just like comparison, procrastination.
Yeah.
Like that is a real thing, you guys.
Those are real things. Like people really go through them. And I don't think that people, some people are afraid to speak out about it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they feel like they're by themselves when they do it. Like they're the only person that does it, but there's so many people that do. Right. And we have to start breaking that chain and making people feel like we got you. I'm you, you are me, and we're gonna do this thing together instead of by ourselves.
And I heard the other night, one lady said, we are really the reflection of each other. And I said, ooh, I like that. And like, we really are, like, we are the reflection of each other. And I think sometimes, I mean, we are still unique in our own ways, but like, in a way we are a reflection, like, you know what I mean? And so just understanding that, like, when you lean on people and you are vulnerable and you are just open about like what you're going through, I think sometimes people also too, like, they really try to do like life alone and try to isolate themselves. And it's just, I don't encourage you to do that. You can say you're an introvert, but there's also one person that you trust, you know?
Yeah. Yes. Like you said, though, like God called you to go get involved, you know? And I'm sure like, even for you, you probably like, why? I don't want to do that. But it's so important to just have people. You can't do this by yourself. God did not create us to be by ourselves. So go out and make friends, make healthy friends that are into things that you're into and that push you and that hold you accountable in a healthier way. Like not saying you too loud or you do too much and then just kind of like write you off. Right. Have friends that if you're doing something that is hurting you or hurting other people, they sit down, they talk to you, and they speak life into you.
Yes.
So that's another word.
That's another word, honey. We can just go on that because it's another word for real. It's like have people that uplift you. If you have anyone that is trying to tear you down, that person is not for you, or they're trying to like make you think about yourself and make you self-sabotage yourself. Like, no, honey, they should be uplifting you and like pouring into you. Like really identify who is trying to take and suck the energy from you. And you feel that, you know who that person is. Come on.
You do.
But I promise
don't ignore that feeling because you know it's there.
Oh, you know it's there. And just know that God will replace whatever that you think that you're going to lose. I think that's another word. Okay. We probably tried this podcast. God said, keep going, but really like understand that like whoever and whatever that you think that you're going to miss out on, you're not. Like, you're really not. I promise you what's on the other side. Ooh, what's on the other side that you think that you're afraid to cross over. I promise you is freedom. It's everything that you have prayed for, everything. And that's just for me, because I think God is calling me on a path where I can't see where it's going to take me, but I know I'm supposed to go here. You know, he's calling me to really get, out of the job I'm in to another industry. And that itself is hard. And it's like, I have to really keep the purpose and the promise that you have called in my life. Like, that is still going to come. Like you said, that your future depends on you, and you have to really like still put in the work, but still believe and know that the future and the promised land is still the same. You have to let go of everything that you thought like was going to be your plan. And that is hard, and it's okay.
It is hard. It's hard because we see what we want to see. We see what we want at the end. And it's so hard because like, God's like, that's not what I want. That's not all I want for you. You're called to a higher purpose. You don't see it, because if you see it, you're going to deny it. So I ain't going to show you yet. You just got to hold my hand in this darkness for a minute. You got to trust me for a little bit. It's going to be good. You're going to be straight. I'm going to comfort you. One thing that and that's a whole nother story to child, but like, I didn't want to take Springfield. I didn't want to come here. And I cried and I cried and I cried, and I want to come here. I wanted to go to bigger city. And God literally told me, I'm going to comfort you. Take that job. I told you to take it. And so at the end of the day, you just got to really just believe that he got your back. He's not going to let you fall. Taking the leap of faith is hard because people don't tell you about the jump and the trip down, but understand that God has his hands under waiting for you to just fall right into his lap so he can take you to higher places and a higher destiny.
Like,
for sure.
That was for free too.
Girl, that almost was about to be charged.
Look. Oh my God.
Free.
Seriously, like, I love everything you said about how God will comfort you in your darkness. And I think that is for someone, especially me, because hell, this whole freaking episode, okay, I'm sorry, but it's just a reminder that and I thank you for reminding me that he will comfort you in the darkness, and he will remind you of his word, and, he will never leave you nor forsake you. And it's like, you have to really remind yourself that even when you can't see it, like he's there, like he's really holding on to you in different ways, and whatever that is, you know what I mean? And so it's like, it's not going to always be peaches and cream. Like you said, like you cried all the time, but I think crying is healing. And it's like, it's releasing like the old version of you, the previous version of you that didn't believe. And it's like building up your faith. Like, I think I told someone the other day that what you're called to requires God will to be in it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't expect to do what you're called to do on your own. It's not for you. It's really for someone else. And so if you think that you can do it out of your will, it won't last long. It won't be everlasting. Like, God's will is everlasting. Wow. Okay.
Ain't that good?
That's good. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, God's will is everlasting. Dang, thank you, God.
No, seriously. Thank you.
Yeah, because can you imagine if we were to do this on our own?
No.
Honey, there would be no earth. Everybody would have burned everything down. We'd be going crazy because we can't do it. We can't do it.
God's will is everlasting, like, for real. So if you, and even if you don't believe in a God, like whatever you believe in, like, just understand that he still loves you anyway, and definitely depend on him. And it's like, if you're not, then maybe you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Wow. Y'all, this is really good. I definitely encourage you to definitely go back and re-listen to everything. And if it resonated with you, we do encourage you to share it with someone else, because if you heard it and you felt something, I promise you whoever you share it with next is also going to feel something, because I always say that a word is not only for you to keep, but it's for you to share. So, but we are only halfway through. Okay. We're about to go even deeper on these episodes. I'm super, super excited. And I hope you guys, also, if you want to know more about LaMyiah, definitely follow her on all her social media handles, and definitely let the people know what your social media handle is.
LaMyiah PTV. That's it. LaMyiah PTV.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So definitely go follow her. You can also find her handle in the description as well. And definitely be sure to follow Behind the Spotlight podcast with all the latest updates for sure, because honey, this is just the beginning. Let me just tell you right now. Okay. Because God has definitely made it clear where he's going to take this. And I'm super, super excited, but we are just getting started. But in the meantime, you guys already know we're going to be back here next week. Have a great day.